What's up, everybody in Vape Land? Welcome to South Shore Vapor Reviews. I'm Brian. In today's video, we're going to be doing a comparison on 3 high wattage subohm tanks from 2016. And they're 3 good ones too. So, what I'm going to talk about in this video with comparisons, we're going to talk about what colors they come in. We're going to talk about coil options. We're going to talk about the diameter. And we're going to talk about juice capacity and the accessories that they come with. So the first on my list is the Smok TFV8 Cloud Beast. Then I have the Arctic V12. And then I decided to throw in the Aspire Cleito 120 because the Aspire Cleito 120 is considered a high wattage subohm tank. Anything 100 watts and above is a high wattage subohm tank. So I'm going to talk about first, we're going to talk about the Aspire Cleito. Let's have a vape. Here we go. I got her at 95 watts. And the Aspire Cleito 120, the coils, it's rated from 100 to 120. But in the packaging, it comes with a card that says it can go past that to up to 160 watts. And it really does. I actually tried it just to see. And it does go up to 160. It's a very, very hot vape, but it can handle it, and it can wick, and I didn't get any dry hits or burnt hits or anything like that. The juice capacity with the Cleito 120 is a 4 milliliter tank. So this holds 4 mils of juice. Not bad. Coil options. It only comes with one coil. It's a 0.16 resistance Clapton coil. And it says 100 to 120 watts on the coil itself. And then the colors that it comes in black, it comes in gold, and it comes in stainless steel. And then it also comes with a spare glass, an extra 0.16 coil, and a vape band. So let's have a vape off this one again, just so you can see what the vapor production is on it and how it performs. Getting on with the next tank. The next tank is the Smok TFV8 Cloud Beast. Let's have a vape. Here we go. I have the new T10.12 coil in here, and I'm vaping her at 110 watts. And the coil resistance range on this is 50 to 300 watts, I believe. Yeah, 50 to 300 watts. Then it says best 130 to 190. So I will tell you that I brought it up to 220 watts on this Alien right here, and it handled it. It wicked well, actually. Really, really good. Didn't get a hint of a dry hit or a burnt hit or anything like that. So it could probably go close to 300 watts, I would say. Coil options it comes with. Now this comes with a few different coils, and they make new coils that come out all the time. What it comes with in the packaging when you get it is 2 coils. It comes installed with a V8 T8 coil, which is rated from 50 to 260 watts, which I believe best is, I think best was like, I think 120 to 180, I want to say. And then it also comes with another 0.15 resistance. And by the way, the V8 T8 is a Clapton coil. It's a dual parallel Clapton. And then the V8 Q4, it's a quad coil. It's just a regular Canthal, 0.15, like I said. And it's rated between 50 and 180 watts. And the best on that one is 90 to 150 watts. The diameter on the Smok TFV8 is 24.5 millimeters. The juice capacity on it is 5 milliliters. or 6 milliliters, depending on what coil you use, because I guess the V8 T8 is a little bit bigger. It also comes in 9 different colors now. That, I mean, before it just came in black and stainless steel. Now it comes in like red, blue, purple, gold, rainbow color, green, all different colors. There's 9 different colors that it comes in. I don't know them all off the top of my head though. Also, what this comes with is it comes with the 2 coils, like I said. It comes with 2 vape pans, and it comes with a spare O-rings, a spare gasket. And this one also has an RBA section to it, which the Cleito you had to buy separately. And what it is just your regular Velocity style deck. And it comes pre-made with 2 fused Claptons on it. And then they came out recently with 2 new RBA decks. One is like a Goon clamp style deck with fused Claptons on it. And then the new one that came out is a single coil with a Clapton coil on it. And then, of course, it comes with your spare glass. Also, because this has a wide bore drip tip, this is a non-510 drip tip, so it comes with a drip tip adapter. And all that is included. So, that's the Smok TFV8. Let's take one more vape off this to show you how it performs. And as you guys can see, the vapor production on this is awesome. So let's move on to the Arctic. This is the Arctic V12. Let's have a vape, shall we? And the coil I have in here is the V12 coil. It is a 0.11 ohm resistance, and I'm vaping it at 125 watts. So this comes with, now it came out with a new coil, so it comes with, they make 3 different coils. It comes with 2 of them, depending on what package you get. The original Arctic V12 package had the V12 coil, which the coils, there's not 12 coils in it. What it is 4 coils, and they're using Clapton wire also, and they are a 3-stranded Clapton wire, so it's 3 strands of wire times 4 barrels, making 12, and that's on both the coils that they have. And the other coil they have is a, oh, first of all, the 0.11 ohm coil is rated from 120 to 180 watts. Now, it doesn't say any best on it or anything like that, but I find the sweet spot on the V12 0.11 resistance between 125 and 140 watts, honestly. It's a 25 millimeter tank. The other coil that it comes with is a 0.3 resistance coil. It's still a V12, still the same 3-strand Clapton wire, but different gauge, obviously, to make it a 0.3. And the rating on that is 100 to 160 watts. And again, that one has no best between blah, 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 like the Smok coil did. It holds 5 mils of juice no matter what coil you come in with it. Comes with a spare glass. Depending on the kit you get with this tank, because they came out with this 24 coil, which is a dual parallel Clapton coils made with 3 strands of wire, so that makes 6 strands of wire in each barrel, so that's why they call it a 24 coil. But the original Arctic V12 came with the V12, 2 V12 coils and an RBA section. Now the RBA section in it was just a 2-post, single post design, and it was very poorly made. I used the RBA because I love RBAs, and it kept saying no atomizer found or atomizer short. So I took the wicks out and I took a look at it, and I found that the negative post was loose. So I tried to tighten it by the bottom, just getting a little tighter, and then the positive post became loose. So I tried untwisting the bottom, because on the Smok TFV8, it's an actual screw, the airflow thing at the bottom, And on the V12 RBA, it's not a screw. So once I pulled it out, the gaskets are so tight on the posts, I just can't get them back in, so I'm not able to use it. The newer Arctic V12s do not come with the RBA, but you can buy it separately. The newer packaging comes with the two V12 coils, and it comes with the 24 coil instead, which I believe is rated 120 to 200, I think, and I think it says goes up to 300 watts. I don't know. I don't have that coil, so I don't know off the top of my head. But in the packaging, it also comes with a spare glass. It comes with spare O-rings. The drip tip on it, as you can see, it's a wide bore drip tip, but if you look at it, it's your standard 510 connection drip tip. The colors that it comes in is stainless steel and black. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you guys a close-up of the coils that these tanks come with. I'm going to use a V12 coil, the 0.3 resistance. I'm going to use the Smok TFV8, and I'm going to take the Aspire 0.16 coil, and I'm going to talk about them, and I'm going to compare them, because you'll notice that the TFV8 and the Arctic V12 coils are very similar. So let's dive down to the table right now. Alright guys, so today I have with me the three coils, the Arctic V12, the Aspire Cleito, and the Smok TFV8 Cloud Beast coil, the original one. So first we're going to look at the Aspire Cleito tank. Here it is right here. As you can see, it's a long tank, a long coil, and reason being is because it also is the chimney. The tank is held together by the coil. It doesn't have a chimney piece that screws on. Right here the top of the tank goes. But anyways, here's what the inside looks like. It kind of looks like teeth or some sort of turbine or something almost. Here's your wicking channels, and as you can see, it says focus, and as you can see, it says Aspire Cleito 120, and then it says 0.16 rated at 100 and 120 watts. Huge wicking channels, I should say. Nice organic cotton. Here's your airflow at the bottom. There's where it contacts right there. So yeah, very nice coil. Alright, so next I have the Smok TFV8 coil. This is actually the V8Q4 coil that I'm showing you guys. I don't have the V8T8. But here it is right here, up close and personal. See, there's the inside, and I zoomed it in so close that you can actually see the coil in there. Look at that. Let me bring it back a little. Alright, so here's what it looks like on the outside. As you can see, it's in a casing. You can't see the wicking cotton on the outside. And then here it says Smok 0.15, 50 to 180 watts, best 90 to 150. Now here's your airflow at the bottom of the Q4 coil. I am so sorry for the auto-focusing. I'm trying to get it so it doesn't do that, but I'm having issues lately. But here is the bottom. It's actually different than the V8T8, because the V8T8 just has one thing like the, you'll see it on the Arctic V12, but it's different. And then next, here is the Arctic V12 coil. Now this is the airflow bottom I'm talking about that's on most of the Smok coils. It looks exactly like that. So as you can see, this is what the inside looks like. They call it a V12 because if you can see the wires in there, they're Clapton wires, and they're made with 3 strands of wire times 4 barrels equals a V12. Here's your wicking channels. Very, very big wicking channels too. All 3 of these coils wick very well. And it says Horizon Tech. This is the 0.3 coil that I'm showing you guys, rated at 100 to 160 watts, 12 coil. And there's your bottom. There's the airflow right there. Alright, so here is the Smok TFV8 and the Arctic together. And as you can see with the V12 coil and the Smok coil, they are almost identical, almost the same size, almost the same everything. In fact, what I tried to do is I tried screwing an Arctic V12 coil and a Smok TFV8 coil in the opposite tanks, and they actually fit into the base. And they will actually fire up if you hit the fire button, but the threading on the chimney are different on both tanks, so it won't fit all the way. So it doesn't actually cross-thread, and they're not actually compatible with each other. Although one would think they are, but they're really not, because I tried it. But that's what they look like together. So the Aspire Cleito, and as you can see, Aspire Cleito is quite a bit taller than the other two coils. And alright guys, so that's what all three of them look like all next to each other. It's just unbelievable how the Arctic and the Smok coil look almost identical. The same size, same width, same everything. And even the threading on the bottom is the same. That's why I said they cross-fit, but they don't cross-fit all the way that you can actually use them in the opposite tanks. I just wanted to let you guys know that. So I feel pretty comfortable going back up to FaceTime. Let's vape and talk about all three tanks, and I'm going to tell you guys what my favorite tank is. Alright guys, and we are back. So that was the coils of these three subohm tanks. That was just a look. As you can see that the Smok TFV8 and the Arctic coils are almost identical. Let's talk about flavor first. Out of the three of them, I think the best flavor goes to the Aspire Cleito 120. Now, one con I found about this tank is that it does have a lot of airflow, and it has a non-removable chuff cap. So you can't even put your own drip tips if you wanted to. I find with this that if I close it off halfway, I feel that I get even better flavor out of it. But even with it wide open, it still beats the other two tanks. I tried closing off the other two tanks halfway, and still this one had better flavor. So I tried them all, and I made everything equal. I would say second would be the Smok TFV8. The flavor is almost as good as the Cleito, but not quite. I notice when I get higher up, I notice that the vape is a lot warmer than it is with the Cleito, and the flavor is just a tiny bit off. And then third would be the Arctic V8, because once you go higher up in the wattage, I just feel that it gets muted. And you would think that it would have better flavor because it has a thinner chimney and a standard drip tip, but I think they just put too much airflow on this thing at the bottom, and it just mutes the flavor when you get higher up in the wattage. Plus, with the Arctic V12, you need at least 100 watts to even get any flavor out of this thing. Now, when I warm up a coil in all my tanks, I start at like, 30, 40 watts. But with these higher wattage ones, maybe I'll start off at like 40, 50. And I noticed that I'll get flavor out of the Cleito, and I'll even get flavor under 100 watts with both these tanks. Not as good as it is if it's a little higher at their peak, but with the Arctic, it takes so much power to power this thing that if you're vaping it at like 70, 80 watts, you ain't gonna get shit out of it. So that leads me to talking about the performance now. So I think the best performing tank out of these three would be the Smok TFV8, because it keeps up with everything. It has really good vapor production, and at the high wattages, the flavor is good. As I said with the Arctic V12, you need at least 100 watts to get some kind of flavor, and the higher you go, the more muted I feel like it gets. And then the Cleito can only handle up to like 160, and it's a really hot, scorching vape, which is unvapable. No dry hits or no burnt hits or anything. It's just, hot. But I do have to say, with these low resistance coils, with all three of these tanks, with performance, I would have to say the Smok TFV8 and the Aspire Cleito 120. They're almost equal. I think the Smok, with the low resistance coil, you still get decent battery life. As with the Cleito, you do too, but just a smidgen lower. But with the Arctic, with the .11 coil, forget it. I usually, when I run this thing, I can't vape it all day because I even put it on this Wismec RX23, and maybe after like 6 hours the batteries will be dead and I'll have to switch them over. It goes through battery life quick. With the .12 coil though, and the .15 resistance, I don't feel that the battery life is as bad as in the Smok TFV8. I don't think it's that bad. So that's performance wise. Build quality goes to the Smok TFV8. It's well built. Their coils are well built. They last a long time. I've gotten at least a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks out of these coils. The Aspire Cleito, maybe a week, maybe 5 days to a week I get with the coil before I have to change it. And then the Arctic, I would say maybe 2 weeks. So I would think that the Smok is probably the best built one. Plus their RBA section in the Smok TFV8 is awesome. Well built. Doesn't break apart on you. Always makes contact. The coils that it comes with are amazing. I've been using the stock coils in the RBA section for a while. I never changed them. I just dry burn them and wick them, and they're good to go, and they're still lasting me. And it's been a couple of months. And I use the RBA section quite a bit. So I really like build quality. I really like the TFV8. They've also improved the hinge on the top. As you guys remember with the TFV4, that thing used to wiggle and break off. They've made such an improvement on that it's nice and strong now. Now I've dropped this tank many a times in my pocket, and it still, to this day, doesn't give me a problem. So I would say on the, I can't say about the RBA dick with the Aspire Cleito because I don't have it. I've never used it, but I just don't feel like the coils are as well built or the tank is as well built. It just feels kind of cheap to me. Not too bad, but kind of cheap. It's not as sturdy as the TFV8 because I've dropped this and it's chipped and so on and so forth. With the Arctic V12 build quality, the tank itself is well built, but it looks cheap to me. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it that I like it, but it's just too much. And I'm really not a fan of what happened with the RBA section. Very poorly built to me. Maybe it was just mine that it came with, but it fell apart on me and I can't get it back together. I'm pretty pissed. And, that's about it. So overall, I would say my favorite, personally, tank out of these three would be the Smok TFV8. Even though the flavor's better on the Cleito, there's just something about the TFV8 that I love. And it's not so much the flavor, because the flavor is almost as good as the Cleito, but it's the build quality of it, and it's the look of it. I just love the look of this tank. It's sexy. I just like it. Second would be the Aspire Cleito 120. I like the look of this tank too. It's a smaller tank. I can deal with it not being as sturdy and not going up as high in wattage as the other one and having that nice, warm, satisfying vape. But you know what? I'll deal with it. I vape on this one a lot too, every day. And then the third would be the Arctic V12. I thought I would have liked it because I liked the other previous two Arctics that came out, the original and the V8, but just this one, they were trying to compete with the TFV8, as I can see, and it's just, I think the airflow on the bottom really does it, because you're getting all this vapor production but muted flavor to me. Now, that's just my opinion, but I feel like it's muted. And what they should have gone with was a wider chimney and a drip tip adapter and less airflow at the bottom. That's just how I feel. So that does it for me today. I'll leave links below to where you can buy these tanks. And I'll have links below to my Facebook and my Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. There'll be more to come. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if I've earned it. Leave a like and leave a comment on your way out too. So, until then, guys, I'll catch you next time on the next video for South Shore Vape Reviews. Vape on, everybody.